What we're experiencing is what Professor Rose Luckin calls the perfect storm for AI, where massive data, sophisticated algorithms, and powerful processes are converging to transform education at a breathtaking pace. I've just returned from the AI in Education conference and organised by Simone Hirsch, and it was absolutely epic. The event brought together some brilliant minds like Brett Salakis, Matthew Esterman, Dr. Nick Jackson, Professor Rose Luckin, and so many more that were just sharing their insights about how AI is reshaping education. The day was so inspiring that our group even won the AI Shark Tank pitch. More importantly, what I learned there shifted my perspective on how we should approach AI in different learning environments. If you're new to my channel, my name is Vaughan Littlejohns. Over the past 3 years, across multiple schools, trained over 200 staff in effective AI integration. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to reveal the 3 key takeaways from the AI in Education conference that are helping top educators leverage AI benefits while avoiding those most dangerous pitfalls. Whether you're feeling threatened by ChatGPT or you're excited about the possibilities, these insights will give you a clear path forward in this rapidly evolving landscape. The first major takeaway from the conference is that AI presents endless opportunities for us as educators. But there's a catch. Educators need access to these AI tools and the knowledge to use them effectively. One of the most exciting applications is in differentiation, creating multimodal learning experiences tailored to our individual students. For example, we discussed Google Notebook LM that allows us to upload documents, then transforms them into different formats immediately. Let me give you a very specific example. Imagine taking a dense academic paper on climate change, the kind that would normally overwhelm most students. With Notebook LM, you can turn it into a podcast for auditory learners, you can create visual summaries for those visual learners, and you can generate discussion questions for interactive learners. The system deep resources into the document, providing proper references and maintaining academic integrity. Though we should be aware that these transformations might gloss over some very specific key information. The ability to present content in multiple formats opens up learning for students with different preferences and needs. What really excited me about is in our Shark Tank pitch was how AI is creating alternative pathways in this space. Students who might not thrive in traditional academic environments can now access personalized learning pathways and journeys that aligns with their strengths and interests. This democratization of education could be revolutionary, especially for students who have been marginalized by those traditional systems, the old chalk and talk as it were. What's striking about these opportunities is that we're just scratching the surface. The educators who are actually embracing these tools now, while thinking critically about how we implement them, will be positioned to create and truly innovative learning experiences that weren't possible before. However, we've heard that phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. The second key takeaway from the conference focuses on the balance between those risks and the benefits in AI in the education space. During an especially thought-provoking panel and roundtable with Brett Salakis, one significant concern emerged, and it's the potential de-skilling of us teachers. If we rely too heavily on AI to create lesson plans, grade assessments, provide feedback, will teachers lose those critical skills that define good teaching? Will we become mere facilitators of an AI-driven lessons rather than just skilled educators? Another major issue, just like teachers using AI to shortcut and just rapidly speed up their work production, is the same for our students. Rather than engaging in productive struggle that leads to deep learning, students might be using and are using AI to generate entire essays, solve the problems and complete assessments without developing those foundational skills is perhaps most concerning. The risk identified by the educators from the University of New South Wales, students are jumping straight to the top of the Bloom's taxonomy, meaning they're creating and evaluating without building the foundational knowledge and understanding that supports that higher order thinking. It's like trying to build a house starting with a roof instead of its foundation. As one educator on my table put it, I'm not worried about AI, I'm just worried about students who use AI to avoid thinking. And this connects directly to the concerns about assessment that we discussed. Traditional assessments become vulnerable when AI can produce essays, solve problems that look exactly like student work. And as Matt Esterman highlighted, the importance of project-based learning and the assessments that test and assess application, process, and creation rather than just knowledge recall or focus solely on that end product, where we can really just look at areas where human creativity and critical thinking still outshine those of AI. How do we actually navigate this complex landscape? Well, this brings me to the third key takeaway from the conference, which Professor Rose-Luckin emphasized throughout her keynote: the importance of purpose-driven AI, or in other words, PI. We need to learn fast, but act slow. Understand the technology before implementing it broadly. We need to experiment with these AI tools ourselves before we can effectively guide students in their use. Number two, we need to focus on that risk mitigation first. Protect students and learning from chasing innovation solely. Leon Furs shared an excellent example of creating an AI use guidelines that emphasize academic integrity while still allowing innovation. Essentially like a traffic light system, where red means no AI use, green means full AI use. And just communicating that right off the start. We need to really address safeguarding risks proactively, especially for our vulnerable learners. We discussed how to ensure that AI systems don't reinforce existing biases or expose students to harmful content. However, this is just getting broader with this digital divide between the haves and the have-nots. But that's a conversation for another video. Lastly, you need to review regularly. What works today might create problems tomorrow. It was emphasized that AI tools are evolving so rapidly that what is best practice last month might be actually outdated today. Now, during our Shark Tank pitch, we focused heavily on the purpose-driven approach. The judges appreciated that what educational problem are we trying to solve? We specifically focused on differentiation, just like we discussed with the Notebook LM using an audiobook and creating different ways of learning. The emphasis here is on intentional adoption rather than just jumping between AI and another AI. Every implementation should start with a question that we really just deeply are trying to learn. What educational purpose does this actually serve? In our group discussions, we developed a simple decision-making framework. If AI can handle the routine tasks like generating practice questions, summarizing content, teachers can focus on human elements that machines can't replicate, building relationships, fostering curiosity, and developing agency and character of our students. As we just wrap up, I wanted to address the biggest pain point that emerged during our discussion at the conference. Many students are already using AI rather than developing their own knowledge and skills. This isn't a problem we can really solve by banning AI or pretending it doesn't exist. The AI genie is really out of that bottle already. We can either wish it away or we can learn to make better wishes. The point resonated deeply with me, and we need to embrace these tools while teaching students and ourselves how to use them responsibly. What made this conference so truly special wasn't just the presentations, but the community of practice we were forming, where educators from all sectors, primary, secondary, tertiary, corporate, coming together to tackle these challenges and collectively discuss how and what is working in their context. It reminded me that we're not alone in navigating this landscape, remembering we are better together. And the future of education isn't about competing against AI, it's collaborating with it to enhance our human capabilities. As I reflect on our winning Shark Tank pitch, I realized that our success came not from proposing the most advanced AI implementation, but for focusing on how AI can solve real educational problems while preserving that human education. I'm leaving this conference with a renewed sense of purpose and a clear sort of framework for implementing AI in education context. Remembering it's purpose-driven. Now, I hope these insights have been valuable for you too, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic. If you're an educator using AI in your classroom, or you're leading it in your context, or your students are navigating these tools, share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear them and see what you're going. And if you found this valuable, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated for future content about education and technology. And a special thanks to Simone Hirsch for organising this amazing event, and all the presenters from the AI in Education conference for their valuable insights. Lastly, if you have a specific AI in education question or challenge you're facing, just drop it in the comments. I will select a few of them to go in deep for the next video. Remember, the goal isn't to be replaced by AI, but to be irreplaceable because of how we use AI. Remember, effort equals results. I'll see you in the next one.